Perhaps the most iconic example in history of individual overcoming a injury is the late great Ben Hogan. In 1949, Mr. Hogan was on his way back from California, and he was involved in a head-on collision with a Greyhound bus in a fog storm in West Texas. And actually, the only reason he survived the crash was he dove across his wife, Valerie, to save her life. So here's an individual that was in the hospital and had all these injuries, and basically the belief was that Mr. Hogan was never going to walk again. 16 months later, he goes to Marion and wins the United States Open. So it became one of the great stories in our country's history of a real-life hero overcoming and persevering and achieving the greatest championship in golf.
Continuing to be able to play sports is important to me because I've been around it my whole life, and I've always just thought I would play sports. Basketball, I started playing that when I was in elementary school, and I loved playing basketball. And football, I was just always around that, and I couldn't imagine myself not playing football.
In August of 2015, Jake was completing a shuttle drill, hyperextended his knee. Ended up next day finding out not only was it hyperextended, but he also had ruptured his popliteal artery behind his knee. Rushed him into surgery, had it repaired. Also had to have a fasciotomy to save his lower leg. 17 days later in the hospital, he's coming out in a full leg cast, first day of school. Welcome to Jaguar land, Jake. So it was an amazing road that he made it back down the trip that he did, no problems, was able to come back to sports with no issues.
It was a goal of mine to get back and play because I was seeing all my friends around the school just being able to play, especially in football and basketball. I knew I wanted to keep playing them, and I knew nothing was going to hold me back from that except for myself. So I just kept pushing myself until I could play both of them again.
He knew that there was only one option, and that one option was to do whatever it took to be able to participate again. Spending the little bit of time I had with Jake when he first came onto our campus, I knew from the get-go that that kid was special and that he was going to be able to do whatever it took to reach his goals.
I was out for such a long time, and I wanted just to be back on the court for so long. And I finally got that moment, and it was so amazing because all the hard work finally paid off.
I nominated Jake Lyles for the Ben Hogan Perseverance Award because I have a new standard of what perseverance means, and it is Jake Lyles. Every day in the training room, it was never, am I done? It was, what is next? What can I be doing next? And to me, that's what perseverance is. Perseverance means to me that you get an obstacle, but no matter what, you push through it and you overcome it, and you just be the best player or best person you could be. I think I'm going to use the money from the Ben Hogan Award to help me become a coach and a teacher one day and follow in my parents' footsteps and just try to help kids and help everybody I can.
I've been through a lot of hard things. You know, football is always the thing I've been attached to. It's always the thing I wanted to do. Going through hard things, that's the only thing I had to hold on, football and God. It all started when I was younger. You know, I didn't grow up with a mom very much. You know, she left me at a young age. I ended up meeting my dad later on down the road. He wasn't a very good role model to me. So I didn't really have much. And my mom, Katie, she adopted me. She's my mom now.
Cody was one of those young men that I knew was going to be an outstanding football player. Going into that second game, we're looking at a young man right here who, in our first game of the season, had 18 solo tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks. I mean, we knew we had a heck of a player on our hands. We call him the war dog around here.
Last year as a junior, I received an ACL injury. I was running a sweep to the outside and my knee buckled inside.
Very bad injury, and it kept him out for the entire year and for most of the calendar year with rehab.
It devastated me. I just wanted to keep playing.
Not only the injury, with coming back from the injury, that's one thing, and that's tough for anybody. And then he comes into the office one day and explains to me that his mother has been diagnosed with cancer. So now, not only are we battling coming back from our injury and the pain and so on and so forth that goes with that, helping sister get to school because he was bringing his sister to school, helping his stepdad get up and get around, and now something else that is uncontrollable. We have no control over that. And for a young man, that's a lot.
My family helped me out a lot. It was tremendous. I worked hard to get back to where I wanted to be. And if it wasn't for them and all the support and coaches and all that, it probably wouldn't have happened.
I nominated Cody for the Ben Hogan Perseverance Award because I believe when I read the criteria, he met every aspect of it. Not just because of the injury, and then of course we had the other situations that are going on at home, but because of how he handled it.
With the injury I received and the things that my mom's going through, we help each other out with positive things all the time, just telling each other to keep going through it. You keep fighting the things and going over the obstacles in life that life throws at you.
This is something that could give this young man, who I feel like has the opportunity to impact other people in a big way and achieve big things.
Oh man, I first came back, it was a blessing, you know. You got the butterflies in your stomach, you know, everything's going on, the hype, yelling and everything. It was great.
I've played many sports all my life. Anything with a ball, I've tried at least. Not very good at golf, but I've still tried it. That's my getaway. I love being an athlete.
From day one, Bethany stepped foot on Weatherford College campus. I knew she was a dedicated athlete, specifically for softball. You could see it in her, through her heart, through her mental status, through her team interaction. You could tell softball was a huge part of her life.
God placed it in front of me. I was playing shortstop. The left fielder and I went for a pop-up, and we ran right into each other. She got up and I didn't, and I knew something was wrong immediately. So I went to the hospital, and they just said it was a concussion. And so they just said, we're just gonna have an MRI just for normal procedure. And they came back and they said, well, you have a brain tumor. I had no idea how to react to that. And they were just confused why I wasn't crying, why I wasn't scared, but I wasn't, because I'm not, that's not how I am. I'm just, okay, I got a brain tumor. Let's fix it. I want to play. That's all that I thought.
From day one after surgery, she was determined to get back to softball. Multiple times, she was asking when she could hit, when she could throw, when she could practice with the team.
At first, they had no idea it was cancer. Then turns out they got the pathology back, and I had grade 3 cancer. So the next step, they told me I had to have radiation. So I did radiation for 6.5 weeks every single morning, and I still played softball. So I don't believe in giving up or not going after it, because I believe you can still do it. If you put your mind to it, you can still do it.
I nominated Bethany Allen for the Ben Hogan Perseverance Award because I have personally seen her persevere 2 or 3 times from an enormous situation in brain cancer. And she has persevered through it and has become a better person and made other people better for it.
My faith in God is how I'm here today. And my mom is up there watching with him. He has her next to and to help me get through everything.
You can tell that softball is her outlet. That is how she can deal with the magnitude of the situation. You could see it in her face, in her reactions, just swinging a bat, holding a ball, playing catch. She was great at that.
When I found out that I won the Ben Hogan Award, I was really excited. I plan to keep going to school, using this money to get my degree, become a college coach, and teach all the kids what I've learned throughout the years and make them love the sport and have the passion that I do.
I love gymnastics because it's such a rewarding sport. It's physically challenging, and the feeling you get when you nail a great routine is just the best feeling in the world. I was very active in gymnastics in high school. I had multiple Liz Frank injuries, which resulted in multiple foot surgeries. Last year here at TWU, I was practicing right before we left for a competition and tore my ACL and had to have 2 surgeries.
Brandy's attitude was simply very matter of fact. I will get back. I will compete again. This is for my team. This is bigger than me. I will compete, and what do we have to do to get there?
The team is just so important to me. I wanted to be there for them because they're always there for me.
And it seemed that every step forward she made in her recovery, there'd always be another setback. So when her meniscus repair failed, and she had to have a second surgery after the ACL, it was just yet another obstacle in her way that she didn't feel sorry for herself. She simply said, this is what we have to do, let's get it done so I can get better.
I overcame all those injuries because I knew that this couldn't be the end. There had to be more. There had to be something else for me to accomplish, and I needed to get over this in order to do it, so I didn't give myself another option.
I nominated Brandy for the Ben Hogan Perseverance Award because she's the definition of perseverance. She's never given up. She's always worked hard and overcome everything that's been thrown her way.
I plan to use this scholarship money from this Ben Hogan Award to help pay for my graduate school and pursue a career in occupational therapy. I love helping people and love that rewarding feeling you get when you finally overcome something that's physically challenging.
I think the Ben Hogan Perseverance Award is so valuable and such a wonderful opportunity for these athletes because, like Ben Hogan, who had to overcome so much to return to his normal activities, much less his professional golf career, it allows these young people to achieve their dreams.
Perseverance to me means getting over any obstacle that's put in your way, no matter what, not letting anything knock you down, or when it does, getting right back up and just pushing through whatever it is.
Congratulations. We are so proud of you. You epitomize the values that Mr. Hogan stood for, especially the value of perseverance, and we wish you all the best in your future pursuits.